Welcome to another edition of Magic La Croix Speaks, brought to you by the Magical Elite Supply Shop. As you can see, my guest again is Miss Ashley Keys. How you doing, sister?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm hanging in there. How's it in your city? Are they making y'all wear masks right now?
It's like half and half, I guess.
Okay.
Um, yeah, some places, a lot of places aren't. I went to Michael's over like in the south side yesterday, and
Hmm.
I tried to go in with my kids, and they were like, "Oh, you can't come in here without a mask." Oh, really? So some places, yeah. Others are like, whatever, it's not a big deal.
Uh, I hate it. I think it's stupid, but we're not going to talk about that today. Uh, Tell us what's on your mind today. What you want to talk about?
Well, it's been on my mind for a while now, actually.
Okay.
Um, but before I get into the topic, I definitely want to make a disclaimer that I don't like to bash women. I'm not here to bash women. When I talk about women, I know that we can do better as a whole,
Hmm.
and I would really like to make these videos so women can transform a lot of their hateful and toxic energies. So, with that being said, the topic is bitter baby mamas.
Okay. So I'm glad you gave that disclaimer because that was one of the questions I wanted to ask you. Was like, what was your goal in mind when you started your channel? Was it because of the reason you just stated? Is that the goal there?
Exactly. Yes. Yes. It's for learning purposes. Because I'm learning as well as everybody else, but I just, there's not a lot of people out there trying to give this information that's positive, especially for us women. So I definitely want to get it out there for women to do better, transform that energy. And I do cover a lot of different topics. It's not just about women.
Okay.
On my face, or excuse me, on my YouTube, yes,
Hmm.
it is about women. When I'm on my blog, it's more so how to teach kids and raise your vibrations, more of the spiritual aspects on my blog. But on my YouTube, I definitely have been covering a lot of shit that toxic women do. So, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Um, do you feel like women would be more receptive to hearing one of their own speaking about these things?
I think so. Yeah. I know a lot of men that try to do the same, and it's not taken as well as when a woman says it, because there's always that excuses of, oh, well, a man doesn't know, and
All right.
they do the same thing, all those excuses. And when it comes from a woman, it might be taken a little bit better,
Okay.
only because I've been through it. I know I see these things, and you can't sit here and lie to me because I'm a woman. So I may have been through this stuff. I may have come across women who've done this, but I mean, everything I speak is truth. So it's
Okay.
time to take accountability, ladies, for our shit.
I hear that. I hear that. So let's
Yeah.
just jump right in. What is a bitter baby mama?
So a bitter baby mama is one who has not accepted the ending of the relationship with the kids' father.
Okay.
Now, this woman does any and everything to drive that man away, and then turn around and say he's a deadbeat father because of all the shit she actually did. He left the kids. Not He didn't really leave the kids. He had a choice between his peace of mind
Hmm.
or leaving his kids, which is a hard decision for a man. It has to be a hard decision for a man dealing with a woman like that and having kids with her. It's really not fair. This woman is a bitch.
Oh,
I
just
can't,
speak
I
your
can't,
mind.
I can't stand women like this. I really cannot stand women like this who cannot accept the ending of the relationship because, we pick and choose who we want to have kids with, who we get married to. Now, it's time to take accountability that maybe you didn't choose right, or things do happen in life to where relationships, they end, but it's how you take the ending of the relationship, how you are able to accept it and move on rather than hold on to it, especially having kids and just being toxic around your kids. um it's bullshit the way women act around their kids and the things that they're teaching them, especially being bitter and hateful towards that man. They will say anything like, he's a deadbeat dad, or your daddy ain't shit. And one that's very common is, oh, you look just like your ugly ass daddy, or something to that effect, which is damaging our kids. It's teaching them hate. It's teaching them that their dad ain't shit. And it doesn't give them an opportunity to know their father, only from what the mother says about him. So it's bullshit. She's a bitter ass woman who cannot accept the ending of the relationship. And y'all need to change that shit. Y'all need to take accountability for however the relationship had ended and move the fuck on.
So you think this is a conscious thing with these women who are bitter like this? You think they're consciously damaging their kids to get back at their father? You think they're conscious of this, or they're so bitter that they don't just know any better? What's your thoughts on that?
I believe that they know exactly what they're doing, especially because that whole excuse of, oh, I had no idea, or it's a bullshit excuse. So I definitely know that they are aware of their actions and what they're speaking towards or about the father, but they refuse to change because they are bitter and they are upset. And I believe that women that are like this truly do not love their own kids, because if you love your kids, you don't teach them this shit. You don't you just don't teach them this shit. And so yeah, I think it's all accountability that's not being taken. I think it's a bullshit excuse that he did this to me, so he deserves everything that I'm saying or doing. Whatever the case may be, that the relationship had ended, it doesn't give you any right to take action this way, to speak this way, to act this way around your kids. We are all adults now. You have children. Now you have to think and speak for them, because everything you say, everything you do, they're listening. They hear it, they see it. And as much as, a lot of women will use the excuse, well, they're young, they won't know any better, or they don't know until they get older. Oh, they know. They truly see, and we are their first teachers. So of course, they see and do everything we do. If we teach them hate, that's exactly what they will expel when they're older, is hate. Teach them love, they will grow and just be loving people. So
do you think I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was going to ask, do you think that the kids, once they grow up, do you think they'll hold some bitterness of themselves towards their mama after getting to know their dads? Do you think that happens?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of cases where I've actually seen this. To where kids will grow up and their mama will say all these bad things about him, that he left and he didn't want nothing to do with you. Yet they grow up to find out that their mom was actually the bitter bitch. And yeah, it definitely causes a strain on that relationship once they get older. It's kind of like there's no going back from that. In my opinion, if I was to grow up thinking my dad wasn't shit because my mom said this, she said all these hateful things, and I met my father and found out, oh my God, my mom is the crazy one, I would have a lot of not hate for my mom, because I don't hate, but I definitely would lose a lot of respect for her and have a lot of questions for her,
Okay.
because you know what I mean? Like it's bullshit that kids have to go through this and to grow up thinking one thing, and it's very confusing. That's why a lot of kids grow up to be confused.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do they are there certain categories that these bitter baby mamas fall under? Think there's
So
some
yeah,
categories?
like in society's way of categorizing women, I don't like to do that because I think psychologically it's bullshit. But for the sake of this conversation, yes, I myself came up with some categories um, to weed out the toxic ones.
Let's
And
hear
it's all right. So
'em. Let's
the
hear 'em.
the first woman would be the happily married mother. So this woman strives to maintain a clean and well put together household. She teaches her kids to love and be in truth while striving for better communication and romance with her husband. This woman, I think as little girls, we grow up to be taught marriage is beautiful, and we try to do everything to be a married woman or to get married and find our prince charming, and we really, this all this stuff we really want as little girls, but life has always hits us and shit changes. But
Right.
the happily married woman, she's out there, she exists, and a lot of us, you know, can be just like her. So, and so with that being said, the second one is the unhappily married woman. So this woman causes arguments in front of her children. She threatens her husband with divorce anytime she's unhappy. Fundamentally, she is teaching her children this is love, when all actuality, she is teaching them hate. Um, this is another toxic woman that a lot of people don't speak about. I think a lot of women stay in marriages unhappy, and teach their kids that this is normal and this is love when it's not. If I definitely don't agree with divorce whatsoever, but if it gets to a point in a marriage that you're very unhappy, and it gets to this point of toxicity, then yes, it's time to leave that marriage for your kids' sake, especially when kids are involved.
So let me
So,
interrupt you for just a second. So the unhappily married woman is the woman who's basically staying in the marriage for the kids, even though she's miserable and unhappy. Is that
oh yeah,
correct? Okay. Okay.
there's a lot of
Okay.
women out there that are in marriages, and it's very hard to. I know this personally myself. I wasn't married, but I did stay in a relationship for my kids. So
Mm.
I know when it comes to the time of, should I let go or should I stay just for them, just so they see a mom and dad in the household. And then it came down to, well, this is not healthy. This is not healthy for them to see, so I gotta go.
So it
And
got
I
to the
gotta
point where they were seeing the unhappiness in you and that you were miserable.
somewhat, yeah. My kids were like 1 and 2 at the time. They're super young, but I knew that at a certain point they will know. Um, Regardless of the age, they're gonna figure this out. That I'm unhappy, he's unhappy, and I definitely don't want them to see the fighting. It's
Okay.
not healthy. It's really not healthy for kids at all.
Understood. Understood and agreed. Okay. I'm with you.
So the third one is the happily single mother, which we know a lot of
Happily single mother.
the
Please
happily
explain.
mother.
Sorry.
She maintains a healthy relationship with her kids' father for the kids' sake. She has gracefully accepted the ending of the relationship and gives him peace to move on, and will not entertain one night stands, quote unquote, the hookup culture.
Mm.
She remains single, and she increases her standards when it comes to dating. So when she does meet a man, it will be one who is beneficial to her and her children. And I think a lot of us have been raised by single mothers, um, single mothers or single fathers, but single mothers in particularly. Um, and this woman, I really respect a woman that can do it on her own and still maintain a healthy relationship with the
Mm-hmm.
kids' father.
Mm-hmm.
So that, even though they're not together, the kids do still have that relationship with their dad, and she doesn't talk down on him.
Okay.
Yeah. So when it comes to her, I know I talk about it a lot about being single moms, and kids definitely do need a father figure to look up to. So it's definitely important um to maintain a relationship with the kid's father, a healthy one at least, being separated.
This is the happily single mother. This is how you classify them, right?
Yes,
Okay. Okay. Sorry about the interruption. Go ahead.
you're okay. But yeah, when it comes to this woman, she's she's doing great for herself. She's happy being single, and I kind of put myself in this category somewhat.
Mm.
Not to categorize every one woman, because I know every one woman is different, and not all women are gonna fit into these four categories. But like I stated before, I wanted to weed out the toxic ones, talk about the toxic ones in these groups, so that they can maybe hear this video and this may resonate with them, and kind of change. You gotta fucking change and take accountability for your shit, bitter baby mom. Sorry.
Passionate
But
about this, huh?
that's so yeah, I am. I've seen women like key their baby's dad's cars, break their windows, um, literally drive this man to the fucking point where he's insane. And he has a decision to make, that do I stay around for this shit? That's a hard goddamn decision for a man to make. And I feel them in on this. Like, it's this shit is not okay.
Right.
These women ain't fucking shit, and they need to fucking either transform that energy, or they need to fucking die, because we don't need women like that at all. We have to raise a generation of kids. We have to raise them to be better, to know better than what we were taught. So y'all hanging on to this hateful energy that you have towards a man, for one thing, is, you know, it's not healthy. It's not okay. It's time to take accountability for our shit, because I know a lot of women who do this and will deny it, that they don't fit this category. Well, yeah, you do. And so what are you going to do about it now? Now that you hear it and you know it's not okay, what are you going to do to change it? Because we
Okay.
can all do better.
I'm sorry. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. I'm just saying we can all do better. We can all do better. It comes to a point and a certain age that this shit is, the more important thing is how our kids are being raised. Not about the people we hooked up with. Not about, the failed relationships. It's not about that. It's about teaching them better.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can transform that energy into something better, like, for example, the money that I do get from the kids' father, I can go out and buy them clothes and things like that, that what they need. But instead, I went out and bought myself some materials that I need to start my own business, so
Mm-hmm.
that it will build more money to come. And you know what I mean? I definitely wanted to transform that energy of getting what they call child support. And I wanted to change it so that I'm able to, use the money that I get from my business to care for my kids. and focus on doing better for myself. That's a way that we can transform the energy. Um,
So instead of buying yourself, getting your hair done, your nails did, you putting it towards a business to build a better home for more income to come into your
yeah,
house to help better raise your kids. This is what you're saying.
exactly,
Hmm.
exactly.
I
So,
respect
I mean, thank you. I just started it, and so hopefully, we can get it going. I'm manifesting that it goes great, and so far it's going amazing. So, um, with that, that's just a simple way to transform the energy of the breakup. There's so many ways to transform the energy other than being spiteful and bitter against this man that you no longer have a relationship with. Um, it's time to let go. And I know it's very hard. Like I said before, we when we're little girls, we really just want that. We want to keep our family together. We want to keep our household together by any means possible. So we'll put up with shit. We'll put up with bullshit, and that's not okay. Um, and on another subject, yes, we do have to pick better men. We have to be more aware of what we've been taught in society. You know, when it comes to relationships, a lot of women are taught like, oh, I want me a thug, I want me a gangster, or like, I want me a bad boy.
that.
But do you know when you're actually thinking, you're not really thinking about what that man or how he will be as a husband, as a father, because that's not really the man that you want raising your kids. You
Mhm.
want a thug in the streets, but he'll be in the streets. I mean, he's not going to be at home raising your kids. A lot of women kind of neglect the men that go to school and try to, the nerdy ones, what they would call the nerdy ones, the ones
Mhm.
that are in the books, the ones that are doing well for themselves. These are the men that we are not taught are actually the men that will take care of our children. They will be a great husband, a great partner. So society really teaches people bullshit, um, a bullshit vision of what a relationship should be. And a lot of women don't know how to pick good men because of the fact that, we've been programmed to see toxic kind of relationships as
I was
far
going
as
to ask that. I was going to ask, in your opinion, was there a reason for all of this, or why these women are acting this way? And you just hit the nail on the head when you said they're being programmed. Like, for instance, Love and Hip Hop and housewife shows, and people who actually think that media has no effect on the subconscious, and it actually does. You see what I'm saying? So you already covered the question that I was going to ask you. Did you have more to add to that?
yeah, they love that drama. They love that love and hip hop. I never really got into it, but when you see like the commercials, it's always, even watching the commercials that they advertise, the only thing you'll see is fighting. Even if you
It.
don't watch that,
Mhm.
even if you're not watching those shows, subliminally you're watching them when it pops up on your timeline or whatever social media you're on, you'll see it. Um, and somehow we are drawn to drama and we thrive off of drama. Um,
Right.
it's I think once you spiritually waking up, I think once you actually realize what's going on, how they're programming people, that you can kind of, oh, I see what they did there. Oh, trying to be
Mm.
slick. But the people who are not aware, the people that refuse to wake up, are just gonna keep going. They're just gonna keep being programmed. They're gonna allow it to be programmed because they.
I
I
got
don't know, because once, I mean, like myself, like I really don't understand why people refuse to listen and refuse to wake up to reality, to the real reality of shit. And that, I mean, they like to be governed. They like to be programmed. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't understand it.
you just answered your question. I mean, well, I know it wasn't a question, but you just answered it. You said they like being programmed. They like these illusions. They like this lifestyle. You know what I mean? Um, People don't want to be awakened. They really don't. They are perfectly fine in their slumber. You can see it by the actions you see on Facebook or in
Yeah.
everyday real life. You know what I mean? So you said there were four categories. You have named three so far. Is there another one?
Yeah, the fourth one is the unhappily single mom, aka the bitter baby mom, which
Ah, she's the last one. Okay, okay.
I saved her for the last because that's who I wanted to talk about to bring out her bullshit. So
Right.
she she has not accepted the ending of the relationship with her kid's father. She will do any and everything to manipulate and control his life. Example, if he starts a relationship, she will refuse him of seeing his own children. She will push him so far away that a lot of men in this situation leave the kids, not to leave the kids, but to leave her and get away, which will lead her to accusing him of being a deadbeat dad and telling the kids that he is a deadbeat dad.
Mm.
That is the bitter baby mom. She's a bitch. Like I said, I don't use that word bitch very much, but like when it comes to this woman, I can't fucking stand women like this. Like I stated before, like she literally is toxic to herself. She's toxic to her kids and anybody who's around her. A lot of women like this have female friends right behind them supporting the bullshit that they do. Yeah,
Mhm.
girl, go bust his windows out. Yeah, girl, fuck him. Yeah, let's go fuck him and his bitch up. Y'all ain't shit. Especially the homegirls that you got that supposedly have your back to do this bullshit shit that you fucking do. So, you know, that's just creating a big old community of toxic fucking women. Y'all are supporting it. Y'all literally refuse to take accountability for this bullshit. So yeah, our kids are around this. Not mine, but excuse me, I shouldn't have said ours. But their children are seeing this. Their children are witnessing it. They're learning from it. And thus, what happens when they get older? They do the same shit. They're literally knowingly programming their kids to act this way. And I say knowingly because they know they're doing this shit. Because they think that shit is fucking normal. Maybe their mom did it, their grandma did it, so they do it. Now it's normal. This is the way of life. This is how we do things, and this. So that bitch is literally fucking scum of the earth. Like, and then on top of that, you have kids who go to public school, um, and that are around kids like this. So it plays out in school. Example, I have kids that went to public school for the last year before all this COVID shit. And there was a lot of kids that my kids were around that I was shocked to see that they would say some of the things that they say and do some of the things that they do. And it's crazy because I'm only there for a certain amount of time to either drop them off or pick them up, but I can see it in kids that are 5, 6, 7 years old, cussing. Like it's very, it's crazy. But my kids are around it, so when we send them off to public school, my kids are now learning it from your fucking kids because that's what you teach your kids. So it's not okay. Regardless if I don't teach my kids these ways, they're gonna be around kids that have been taught this shit. So somehow now they're being programmed, which is why I hate public school. I don't approve of public school because of a lot of programming that they do within the building, a lot of the bullshit that they teach. But it's if you don't teach your kids this, they're gonna be taught some other way by somebody else that's been taught it. So you can't really shield your kids from it, and it sucks, especially when they are at public school. You can't shield them. You can't be there for them. Another reason why I support all y'all homeschoolers. But yeah, the toxic, bitter fucking baby mom, she gotta go. She gotta kill herself. She gotta fucking go. And it's time to take accountability. If y'all heard this video and you heard my 4 categories, and this doesn't resonate at all with the categories, like I said before, they're not supposed to. I really was weeding out that toxic one in the categories. But if you heard this video and you resonate with the bitter fucking baby mom, it's time to fucking take accountability. And I'm sorry I keep cussing. I don't really give a fuck. But it's time to take accountability for your actions. It's time to teach your kids better. Period.
Do you think? Wow, that's a very impassionate speech you just gave there. Do you think there's a way out of this to break the cycle? Is there any way?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely know women can do better. I think that once they're aware of, the thing is that they are aware of the shit that they're doing.
Number
And yes,
4
there is
or all of them?
I'm sorry.
I was saying the number 4 category or all of them. Which one are we talking?
Mainly number 4. Because I did speak on the toxic one when I brought up the unhappily married woman. She is toxic. I think a lot of women actually are able to get out of that bad marriages. Then to transition from this one, the bitter baby mom, I think it's harder for women like that to take accountability. So I definitely believe it's possible for them to recognize what they're doing and change it. But sadly, a lot of them won't take accountability. A lot of them are okay with this shit. That's the shit right there, is that they're okay with living like that. Like, when it comes to spirituality, I cannot say that for when it comes to being spiritual, and that you take accountability for everything that you do. I think these women refuse to do that. I think like we were talking about earlier, they refuse to be deprogrammed because they just love it. But I have hope. I really have hope that women will do better. I definitely know that words spoken are spells. So definitely when I'm talking and I'm speaking, I'm going to say it to where, I'm going to speak this into existence, that women will do better. So with that being said, I'm definitely not going to say that, no, they can't change, no, they can't do better. Because yes, every woman can. Period.
Maybe that's the way out. It's for everybody to come to their spiritual terms and deprogram. Ultimately, this program runs deep. Understand these. I also put the number 4 in the category of I don't need a man. And that goes back to, I'm going to say, the civil rights era, the 60s, where black women took on the white women's fight against the white man. You can see it in the movie Claudine. The government came in and said, we'll give you a place to live, we'll give you money, but you cannot have a man in your house. You know what I'm saying? So black women picked that up. Oh, I don't need a man. The shit runs deep, in my opinion. It runs deep. The hip hop, love and hip hop and all that shit, that's just part of it. I think it goes even deeper than that. But again, maybe that is the solution here. I'm not going to say there's always going to be bitter baby mamas, but There's a lot out there. I'm sure you know a lot. I know some. I've grown up seeing some. So we gotta do better. Yeah, yeah. But um,
Yep.
it's just the spell and the programming is just runs deep. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because I think I've covered that topic of what you were saying about the single mom, the independent woman. We've talked about that before, and
Hmm.
that that in itself is a problem. It's been a problem because women they refuse the help of a man, especially when they have kids and they somehow become single. They refuse the help of a man or having a man in the home because she can do it all by herself. And yeah, maybe you can clothe them and bathe them and feed them, but you're not mentally developing them in a when you're not balancing out that masculine and femininity. Like there's no
So
balance in the home.
so you believe that the family structure is important
It
to
is.
children. Okay. Okay. No, I definitely agree with you. They've taken that away. That's another thing they've taken away. They have devalued the family structure, saying that, man, woman, and child, there's no need for that. When that's just not true. You know what I'm saying? Back when in the '60s, when the civil rights movement started, mostly black people, most what they call black melanated people, had families, men, women, children. You know what I'm saying? There was a balance. Because, in my opinion, only men can teach men how to be men. Same with women. Only a woman can teach a woman how to be a woman. You know what I'm saying? Um, and there's that balance when there's a two-parent household. And so for a lot of us have grown up in single-family households. I'm one of them. You know what I mean? But I was determined to break that cycle too. I'm still with my kid's mama now. You know what I mean? So yeah, I hear you.
That's so great to hear. That's so great to hear. And
Thank you.
I know a lot of people that have transformed that. Like I actually don't want to be like my parents.
Mm,
My brother is one of those. You know, we all grew up with a single mom, and he's been with his wife uh 12 years now, I want to say. And yeah, divorce is not on the table there. We're in
yeah.
it to win it. And I know a lot of people that have, they've grown up in a two household family of mom and dad, and they actually go the opposite direction. So
Mm,
it definitely does change, and it's how people perceive marriages once
hmm
they do get older.
hmm
But fundamentally, it's what we have been taught as kids, um,
mm. That is very
regardless.
true. Hmm. Hmm.
So I definitely agree with everything you just said.
Oh, well, I
We
appreciate
gotta
that.
do better. We gotta do better. And I'm so happy to be talking to a black man,
Thank
that's
you.
done so well and taking care of his kids, and he is, you know, still happily married. So that's so good to
I
hear.
appreciate that. I
We
appreciate
gotta
that.
we need more like you. We do.
Yeah.
So,
I My dad died when I was 10, I think. He's died when I was young. But I made a promise to myself around 13, 14 years old. I told myself that if I ever had a son, that I would be in my son's life always, no matter if me and the mom was together or not. And I stuck to that promise to myself. You know what I'm saying? I got a daughter too, but that's daddy's little girl. But I guess I'm kind of old fashioned because I was raised pretty much by my grandmother. Not trying to give up my own personal history here, but I'm from the old school. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And I believe in that balance. There's a lot of programming right now that says no, we don't need that balance. Yet and still, in those other races, they have that structure and that balance. But for us, they don't want us to have that. You see what I'm saying? So like I said, that program runs deep, but I was determined to break that cycle. So yeah, I think I
That's
did it.
so awesome.
Appreciate it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I definitely and I hear you, but yeah, that's so great to hear. And as far as men like you, they don't advertise it. They don't advertise black men like you that are doing the damn thing. So I mean, it's definitely good that I'm glad that you're making YouTube videos. That's great. But yeah, I think that a lot of men like you need to be more promoted. They need to be seen instead of, a lot of white folks think that, hey, the black community is fucking weak because their daddies can't stick around, but that's not true.
It's not
We
true. It's not.
they
It's not
they
true.
really don't know. Like I've said, they only see what's in the media as well. So
Hmm.
they're being programmed to think, hey, black black women are always single mothers and ghetto, and that's not
Hmm.
true. It's really it really bothers me that a lot of people um they use they'll tell me that I talk white, and I'm like, what? So if I speak proper, that is being white, or you know what I mean? Like I think there's a lot of people that view us as one way to act, and there's so many. We're all one person. Like everybody's
Yeah,
different.
right. I had that growing up. I definitely had that growing up, and so more toxic behavior in our own community because if you speak intelligent, then you're speaking white. So you're associating intelligence with just white people. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not the fact that you read a lot and you may have an expanded vocabulary. It's just that you're supposed to be stupid. You're supposed to act stupid, act ignorant, and talk ignorantly. You see what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And it's more programming. You know what I mean? And that's in our own community. I grew up wanting to be fought all the time just because I was a teacher's pet and just because I was intelligent. I ain't let that stop me though. You know what I mean? But that's within our own. I've seen a lot of that growing up. You know what I mean? That's programmed. You're not supposed. Acting intelligent is for pink toes. I'm sorry. That's my own personal word. Um, that's my own personal word. I'm sorry about that. Um,
Okay.
so-called white people. So-called white
I
people.
call them pink baby rats. Cause you ever see? I'm sorry, I didn't want to get. You ever seen like the red skin on the baby
Yeah,
rats?
I have.
Okay,
I
that's what.
got it. I got it when you said it.
Yeah.
Ah, that's even worse than pink toes.
No,
But yeah, yeah, we that's another area in which we got to do better. That because you're able to use your brain and speak in an intelligent manner, doesn't mean you're trying to act white. Or if you own a house, or drive a nice car, that's not specifically for white people. I mean, it's just a whole lot of. This was actually consciously done to us. It's not by accident. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So there's a lot of deprogramming that has to be done, but it seems like right now, I'm hoping. It seems like right now, a lot of people are waking up to all the bullshit that's going on right now. You know, so it would have taken a pandemic, a so-called pandemic, to wake people up. But at least it's happening, right?
Yeah, they said the year 2020 is the time to wake up.
It
Um,
is. It is. It is.
I think, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, word spells. So yes, everybody is waking up. And everybody's gonna do better, and this year is gonna change. I mean, I know a lot of bullshit is coming out, especially with racism, but it's nothing that hasn't been going on. It's just being more it's
Right.
been more advertised, and people are seeing it more, especially because people are at home, quarantined, bored on social media. So of course, this is all you're seeing.
Mm-hmm.
It has nothing to do with Trump, because it has nothing to do with any of that. All that shit was already in America. So it
Ah,
hasn't changed.
that
I mean,
that was clever. I like that. Okay.
yeah, it's nothing different. I mean, they act like a lot of people act as if slavery never happened. A lot of people act as if, you know, the indigenous people weren't damn near wiped out because of racism or, land. But I mean, this is nothing new. All this shit has been going on, guys. Like, come on, wake the fuck up. When has
Right.
it stopped? It's just because now police brutality is being advertised more because they got the little cameras on. This was already happening before they were wearing the cameras.
That's what's so funny to me is that the Caucasians act like this is something brand new, and for most of them, it is. They hadn't get a chance to see the mistreatment of melanated people, and now they're like, "Oh my God, did that really happen?" Yeah, motherfucker, we've been saying it since we've been over here and shit. That's the
Right.
you know what I mean? But now, like you said, it's more exposed now because of all the cameras and all the recording and all that. And you can even see, I say, for a example of what goes on in America, all you have to do, there's certain movies that you can look, it will show you. Like A Time to Kill will show you that the Klan members are in the police department. They're lawyers. They're lawyers. You know what I'm saying? This was the reason for wearing hoods in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Because they go back to being lawyers, cops, doctors, all these prestigious titles and shit. So this has always happened, just like you said. It's just being more exposed now, and it just like, I'm like, wow, I'm amazed at how Caucasians are acting now. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of times they're doing too fucking much, though. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm so sorry shirts and get the fuck out of here. You ain't gotta do all that. You know what I mean? You ain't gotta do all that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've been bitching about this for so long, and I think everybody should watch that viral video. Her name is Kimberly Jones of the Black Lives Matter movement. It
I've
went.
seen that video.
You seen it, and it was powerful. It was only 7 minutes, but what she says when she ended with, and she was so passionate about it, and she was so moved by her own words. She had to be consoled off camera after she said, y'all better be glad. All we want is equality and not revenge. You see what I'm saying?
That was deep.
It
It
was
was
deep.
so deep
It
because
was.
she broke it down, for people to understand using Monopoly as the game.
Right.
And
Right.
it was it touched me the way she was so into it, and she
Mhm.
really, she's very passionate about what she's saying. She knows
Mhm.
exactly what the fuck oh man, that video was great.
The
Oh
video was great.
yeah. I hope a lot of people watched it and took from it, because what she said was so fucking deep about how we haven't even had a chance. That how can you win in a game that you didn't create? Man, that everything she said is deep.
And I
And
mean,
she
for the fact that the rules are constantly changing. Anytime we catch up, I thought that was deep because that's constantly been in play. You talking about playing chess? You talking about playing chess, but they're constantly changing the rules of the chess game. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So yeah, I think after this, I'm gonna go watch it again. Why not?
Yeah. That was I think I posted it too. That was, yeah. I think I watched it like 3 or 4 times, and it's even educationally something that our kids can watch and be like, oh, that's
Mm-hmm.
how they play this game. This is how
Mm-hmm.
they do it. I think I told you last time I'm mixed. So
Yeah, yeah.
my mom's white. So we had a conversation yesterday. It was a rough day, but we had a conversation about her. She keeps seeing these videos as well that we all see, and she's white, and she's never been one to play the race card, and she in fact was in denial of her own what do they call it, white privilege. She was very much in denial of it until she kind of was. I'm not really sure who she talked to that broke this down to her about, there's many things besides, you know, growing up in wealth that is white privilege, such as, driving a car and not having to worry about a cop driving behind you, or worrying about the color of your skin when you're shopping, and if they're watching to see if you're stealing, things like that. And when she came to the realization of that, she was like, "Oh, I get it." And I think there was a video that I posted yesterday. It was very graphic. It was pictures of, you know, black folks that were hung, and white folks sitting in the background laughing about it, taking pictures of it. And my mom had made the comment of, when are we white people gonna stop allowing this to happen to black people? Like, we all have to stand up for the black community because my kids are black. I definitely think that we need more people, Caucasian people, to stand up for us. At the same time, not fight our battle, because it's not our battle. It's a battle between their own selves. So I definitely think we need more people like that to stand up and to speak up about racism, because it's bullshit. And like, the subject that we were talking about women in general, all this comes to play about from slavery. A lot of this is a deep-rooted issue, like we speak about, that it's really hard to go back to find out why we act this way. Where can we go down the family line, the DNA of what happened traumatically to us for us to act this way? It had to have been a traumatic event for us to act in this manner of self-hate. It's really self-hate to act toxic. So.
Absolutely agree. Absolutely. Did you have any final thoughts? I mean, I've enjoyed you coming here again. You make me laugh. You really do. So your rawness, I think, is needed. A lot of people need their hands held, and everybody gets offended about every fucking thing. But keep doing what you're doing. Keep making your videos. Did you have any closing thoughts that you want to say to the audience?
Just that, ladies, we gotta do better. And another thing, if y'all want to check me out, my YouTube channel name has changed. It's under Beautiful Goddess Keys on YouTube, and then you can find me on Facebook at Ashley Keys. But other than that, I'm gonna keep making videos and calling y'all bitches out. So, like, playing hide and seek. It's like, come out wherever you are. I see y'all. I see y'all bitter bitches.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna sit here and tell y'all women that it's okay to act like this. You got me fucked up. No, we're gonna do better. Period. So, yeah.
Absolutely. So I will put your new information in the description box. Thanks again for coming and joining me this afternoon, and I will see you next time. Keep doing what you're doing. I am the one and only inexplicable Magick La Croix. I'll see y'all next time. My guest, Miss Ashley Keys. Peace, y'all.
All right. Bye.